Have you ever felt stuck in a loop, like no matter what you do, nothing seems to change? Like life is slowly slipping through your fingers, and you can't quite put your finger on why? Well, what if I told you that there are certain psychological habits, things you do every single day, that are quietly sabotaging your life? And most people don't even realize it. Before we dive in, take a second to hit that like button and subscribe, because understanding these habits could completely transform how you think, act, and live. Trust me, this is the kind of insight most people wish they knew years ago. Let's start with the first habit: constant negative thinking. We all have that inner voice. Sometimes it whispers, sometimes it shouts. But for some, it's constantly tearing them down. Thoughts like, "I'm not good enough," "I'll never succeed," or "Why bother trying?" seem harmless, but over time, they shape your reality. Science shows that our brain can't easily tell the difference between imagined failure and real failure. The more you entertain negative thoughts, the more your brain starts treating them as reality. Before you know it, opportunities are slipping past because deep down, you believe you don't deserve them. Next is people-pleasing at the cost of yourself. There's nothing wrong with helping others, but when your life revolves around seeking approval, you give away your power. You start ignoring your own needs, desires, and goals just to fit in or avoid conflict. Over time, this habit doesn't just drain your energy, it erodes your self-respect. People may praise you on the surface, but inside, you're left feeling invisible, frustrated, and resentful. Imagine building your life based on someone else's expectations. No wonder happiness feels so far away. Then there's perfectionism. At first glance, striving for excellence sounds admirable, right? But perfectionism is a silent killer. It convinces you that nothing you do is ever enough. You procrastinate because the work won't be perfect. You avoid trying new things out of fear of failure, and every small mistake becomes a source of shame. Over time, perfectionism doesn't push you forward. It paralyzes you. You start missing out on growth, opportunities, and even relationships because you're trapped in an endless loop of not good enough. Fourth, chronic overthinking. Ever find yourself lying in bed at 2 a.m., replaying the same conversation over and over, analyzing every little detail? Overthinking isn't just exhausting. It rewires your brain to focus on what's wrong instead of what could go right. It keeps you anxious, indecisive, and stuck in a loop of what-ifs that never lead to action. The irony is that your mind thinks it's protecting you by overanalyzing, but really, it's sabotaging your ability to move forward and take control of your life. Finally, avoiding responsibility. We all make mistakes, but when you constantly blame circumstances, other people, or even luck, you're giving away your power. Avoiding responsibility creates a mental trap where life happens to you instead of you happening to life. Growth, achievement, and true freedom require ownership, taking responsibility for your choices, your emotions, and your actions. Without it, life feels like a series of setbacks you can't escape. These habits, negative thinking, people-pleasing, perfectionism, overthinking, and avoiding responsibility, are deceptively powerful. They don't announce themselves as villains. They disguise themselves as normal behavior. But left unchecked, they quietly erode your happiness, confidence, and sense of purpose. Here's the thing: recognizing them is just the first step. The real transformation begins when you start replacing them with healthier, empowering habits. And that's exactly what we're going to uncover in the next part, because understanding the problem is only half the battle. So now that we've uncovered these hidden habits that are quietly destroying your life, the next question is, how do you fight back? How do you regain control and start living on your own terms? Let's begin with retraining your thoughts. Negative thinking is powerful, but so is positive thinking when used intentionally. Start by noticing when your inner critic shows up. Don't ignore it or try to push it away. Just observe it. Then challenge it. Ask yourself, is this really true? What evidence do I have? Replace self-defeating thoughts with statements that empower you. Even small changes like saying, "I'm capable of figuring this out," instead of, "I'll never get this right," can reshape your brain over time. Your mind is like a garden. What you nurture grows, and what you neglect withers. Next, set boundaries and reclaim your time. If people-pleasing has been draining you, it's time to take a stand for yourself. Start small. Say no when it matters, protect your energy, and honor your priorities. People who truly respect you won't resent your boundaries. They'll respect the clarity and confidence you show. Over time, this habit creates a life where you feel valued, not exploited, and where your happiness isn't dependent on others' approval. Breaking free from perfectionism starts with embracing imperfection. Try doing one thing each day imperfectly on purpose. Write that email without editing every word. Start that project knowing it won't be flawless, or try something new without obsessing over outcomes. Each time you act despite imperfection, you weaken the grip of fear. Remember, done is always better than perfect, and growth lives in action, not in waiting for an impossible standard. For overthinking, the key is action. Your brain loves to ruminate because it feels productive, but it's not. Counter overthinking by making small, immediate decisions. Even tiny actions create momentum. Keep a notebook and write down worries, but next to each, list one thing you can do to move forward. Over time, you'll train your mind to focus on solutions rather than problems, and you'll find clarity replacing chaos. Finally, taking responsibility is the ultimate game changer. This doesn't mean blaming yourself for everything that goes wrong. It means owning your reactions, your choices, and your growth. Ask yourself, what part of this can I control? What can I do differently next time? When you stop pointing fingers, you reclaim power. You transform from a passive observer of your life into the author of your story. And that shift alone can create confidence, resilience, and freedom that lasts a lifetime. Here's a secret most people never realize. Change doesn't require perfection or massive effort overnight. It requires awareness, courage, and small, consistent steps. Every time you interrupt a negative habit, you're building a life that works for you, not against you. Every time you choose action over overthinking, self-respect over people-pleasing, or progress over perfection, you're quietly transforming yourself from the inside out. Imagine waking up tomorrow without that constant inner critic, without the pressure to please everyone, without fear of making mistakes. Imagine making decisions with confidence, feeling a sense of control, and finally living a life that feels truly yours. That's not a dream. It's possible when you break these destructive habits. Remember, you have the power to change your mental patterns, your reactions, and ultimately your life. It starts with noticing these habits and committing to small, daily changes. You don't have to do it all at once, but you do have to start. If you found value in this video and you're ready to take control of your life, hit that like button, subscribe, and make sure you turn on notifications so you don't miss future videos packed with insights like this. Your mind is your most powerful tool, and the habits you choose today will shape the life you live tomorrow. So take ownership, break free from what's holding you back, and step into the best version of yourself. Because here's the truth. Life is too short to let hidden psychological habits steal your happiness, your confidence, and your future. Take the first step today and watch how everything changes.